record what I had planned for people. Just this isn't like a wasted time, I guess. So there was just a few things I wanted to go over, because I know that as I've like looked at like what some of my team has posted and how they've been doing and questions they've had, I just kind of wanted to cover those things and then just talk about a couple other things. But I feel like I notice a lot of people on our team are trying, like I can tell by the posts that they make that they're being so consistent, which is great, but they're trying so hard to like, make a sale or, earn money, which is great, but you can kind of sense that when they make their posts. It's not really like sharing, it's more, you can feel like you can like sense that they're trying to sell products. And you can tell that like when they are consistently like putting out invitation after invitation after invitation, like as their posts, like join my challenge, become a coach, do this, do that. This is like, and I think one thing that will really help a lot of our coaches is if they really focus on just sharing their life and not necessarily trying to get people, and not necessarily posting and trying to tell people to do what they're doing, but just share what they're doing. And I think that will really help people kind of get out of maybe the rut that they're in with trying to find people to join challenges and become coaches. I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in thinking, oh, I need to tell people that they should become a coach, or I need to tell people that they need to join my challenge in a big old post on my Facebook, and that's what's going to, get them. But a lot of times that might come off as trying to like be pushy and be salesy, when really you just need to be sharing your life and what you are doing, and not necessarily saying join this, become this. And it is important to like put posts out there, but not every day, not every other day. I feel like once, maybe twice a week is like a good limit for that. And that comes down to that whole jab, 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 right hook thing. You just got to keep share, and then sell. That's kind of what I feel like jab, 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 right hook is. It's kind of like share, and then sell. So make sure you're sharing a lot more than you are like selling. Make sure that sharing is like a priority. And you can kind of go back through your profile, go back to your page and kind of look at the posts that you have made. And think to yourself, like, if this showed up in my newsfeed, would I like that? Would I comment on that? Would I feel comfortable like reaching out to this person? Sometimes when I do that, I like look through some of my posts and I'm like, oh, I should like delete that one. I don't want people to like think that that's what I'm about. You need to make sure that, I don't know, I feel like I'm constantly doing like a self-inventory to make sure that I'm posting what I need to and being the coach that I need to. And like making sure that I'm not right hooking more than I'm jabbing. And so, I don't know, I guess just kind of what I recommend every coach do is kind of go through their profile, look back at their posts and think to yourself, am I sharing or am I selling? And if you realize that you're sharing, or if you're trying to sell way more than you're just sharing your life and sharing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, then maybe that's a change that you can make to help better your business. Okay, a couple questions that I've had from coaches this week. First of all was about Success Club points. You only get Success Club points from selling challenge packs. You get two Success Club points from selling challenge packs, and you get one Success Club point from selling Shakeology on a home direct order. So if you are just selling fitness programs, you aren't going to get Success Club points for that. And if you're selling Shakeology but they don't sign up for home direct, then you're not going to get a Success Club point for that. So just as a clarification, Ellie. Yeah, you're being noisy. You're being cute though. Okay. And then another coach asked me earlier this week, which I think I need to kind of address. They asked me, what should you do during your power hour if you don't really have a ton going for your business right now. So I know a lot of you are new, and I'm always saying, well, you're going to be messaging people, you're going to be posting in your challenge groups, you're going to be posting in your training groups. Well, a lot of you maybe aren't, maybe running a challenge group right now, or maybe you're not, don't have coaches under you to, follow up with and help. And so, as new coaches, I feel like one thing that you can really focus on during a power hour is messaging people, is building relationships. So what my recommendation to you, and I'm going to do this also, is I want you to make a list of 50 people that you think that you could help as a coach. So don't stop that list until you get to 50 people. And I'm going to do the same thing, but you can go through your Facebook, your friends on Facebook, and look at your friends list and just start writing down names of people that you think you could help as a coach. And also just write down your friends and your other close friends and family members that maybe don't have Facebook. Write them down on that list too. And then during that power hour, choose a few of those people to start messaging, to starting a conversation with, start building a relationship with those people. Because those relationships are going to be what attract them to you, and they're going to start paying attention to your posts more, and you are going to get to know them better, and they're going to get to know you better. And honestly, making that list and just starting building relationships with those people can be a huge thing that you do during your power hour that can help your business. It might seem kind of not important to do those kinds of things, but I'm realizing more and more and more, especially lately when I've been kind of in this rut where I'm like not progressing. And I think it's just because I'm like not messaging people, I'm not reaching out to them, I'm not building relationships with people. And so I don't know, I feel like that's something that a lot of new coaches can do during a power hour that will really help their business. So like I said, make a list of 50 people. Don't stop that list until you get to 50 people. I know that might be kind of hard, but just make that list and then just start at the top and start going through those people during your power hour, and building those relationships.
You're okay. You're okay.
Okay, and another thing I was just thinking about earlier this week, and I think about this a lot, but just I guess it kind of hit me again earlier this week. It was just that. So when I went to college, I was going to college to pursue a teaching career. And during college, I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get my education, to become a teacher. And then once I became a teacher, I spent like 60 hours a week, probably more, to make $1,800 a month. I worked my butt off, trying to be a good teacher. And I would make $1,800 a month, and there wasn't a whole lot of room for increase there. Eventually down the line, I would make more as a teacher, but really not that much more. And when it breaks down to it, I was basically making $7.50 an hour, and I had spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to become a teacher. Now, I loved being a teacher. I miss being a teacher. I feel like that's something that I was good at and that I loved, but at the same time, I was making $7.50 an hour, basically, if I was to really break down how much I was making for the work I was putting in, to have this career that I had spent so much money on. And I was thinking just about coaching, and I love coaching. I think coaching is so much fun, and I know that there's a lot of value in coaching, and I think it's something that I am decent at and that I could be better at and all this stuff. But I'm thinking, I spent $140 or 100, I think mine was actually $180 to start with, to start my business. So way less than becoming a teacher. And I have so much more room for increase in this business than I did as a teacher. As a teacher, there's no way that I ever had the possibility of making 6 figures. But do I put in 60 hours a week as a coach to make $7.50 an hour? No, I don't. First of all, that's not my purpose to put in 60 hours a week as a coach. I think that would kind of take away from the fact that I want to be a mom and all that good stuff. So I'm not expecting myself to put in 60 hours a week. But at the same time, I'm just thinking, man, if I just put in the work, if I showed up every day to this job, which I have not been very good at lately, but if I showed up every single day and put in the work that I needed to reach my goals, I'd be making way more than $7.50 an hour from what I'm putting in. And I would have so much greater, I guess, return on investment, like Chelsea was saying, from my business than I did as a teacher. And so, I don't know, I guess it's just kind of interesting to think about Beachbody as a career, Beachbody as your job, as your job of like changing people's lives. It's not, I mean, yeah, you didn't go to school for 4 years and invest thousands and thousands of dollars to have this career, but it is a legitimate job that you can earn a lot of money doing, helping a lot of people. And it's all about showing up every day and doing the work and being consistent. Truthfully, I feel like every single person like faces a lot of fear in this business. I mean, I feel like not very many people start this business thinking, oh man, this is going to be easy. I'm going to be a rock star. This is like no big deal. And then they just like kill it. You know, I feel like every single person comes into this business with fear, or if they didn't come in that way, it easily sets in from, you know, just starting and jumping into the whole process of helping other people. So even though we all come in with this fear in this business of, you know, worrying about how other people will come or will perceive you, or worrying about if you're really going to be successful, everybody has these fears. But we all have a choice to be successful. I honestly, like I was kind of thinking a while back that not everybody could, you know, really be successful as a coach. I kind of had this mentality that, you know, there's certain people that could be successful, there's certain people that couldn't, but I realized that it's what it all comes down to is the choice that you make to be a good coach. So if I made the choice that I want to be successful in this business, if I made the choice that I was going to show up every single day and do the work that it takes to be a successful coach, then I would be successful. There's like no doubt in my mind right now that that's the case. And I think that's true for every single person. We all have the choice, and we just have to make that choice and realize it and believe in ourselves and believe in the business and believe that what you're doing is helping people, because it is. And making that choice is going to make all the difference. I feel like this business is all about your mindset. It's all about consistency in your mindset. And if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to make this your business and like truly show up every day, then it will work for you. Like I think we're all going to have to do stuff that puts us outside of our comfort zone. Honestly, messaging people is outside my comfort zone. Like I don't mind posting all that good stuff. I don't mind running challenge groups, but personally messaging people is outside my comfort zone. But that's what I realize I have to do to be successful in my business. And that's what I've been missing the last few weeks. And that's why I've kind of been in this little rut, is because I have decided that I was going to let my fear, or the thing that makes me uncomfortable, kind of take over, which is what has made it difficult for the last few weeks for me. But we all have these things that make us uncomfortable. And truthfully, when it all comes down to it, once we overcome those fears, we will be successful if we just show up and be consistent, like I keep saying. I don't know. Every person's going to have to fight for their business. It's not going to be easy for any of us. I wish that it was, and it's not going to be easy, but if it's something that you want, you can make this business huge. You can make this business life-changing for yourself and for the people that you influence. Every single person that you come in contact, you're going to have some sort of influence on them, and it's going to be a positive influence or it's going to be a negative influence, and you are going to have that positive influence on those people if you're just willing to help them and if you believe in them and you believe in your business because you know that the products work and they are going to change people's lives. So I don't know, what I think I just keep thinking about like the past 7-ish months that I've been in this business, and I think about the times that I've been, had a lot of success, and the times that I've, the last couple weeks where maybe I just felt like, I don't know, just not very good at my job. And it's because it's all comes down to like what, if I'm being consistent, if I'm showing up, if I'm willing to overcome my fears. And so in 2016, we all have to make a goal. We all have to make a choice of whether we're going to make this business work for us. And I am making the choice right now that I'm going to make this work for me. I'm going to make this a business that's going to help myself, my family, and it's going to help a lot of other people. And I'm making that choice right now. And I'm making a choice right now that I'm not going to miss a month of Success Club, because I know that that's when I'm going to help the most people. That's when I'm going to help myself financially as well. And so I'm making that choice right now, and everybody has to make a choice of what they're going to do in 2016 with their business. And if you're not willing to put in the time, if you're not willing to put in the effort, then the business isn't going to work for you. But if you are willing to, and you make the choice right now to overcome your fears and to put, all those inhibitions aside, and you're willing to show up every day with your $140 investment that you've made in this business, then you can kill it. You can kill it in this business. You can make it. You can achieve any of those goals that you might have. And so I hope that everybody, as we go into 2016, that you're making those goals, that you're deciding and you're making a choice that you're going to make this business work for you, and you're going to do what it takes to make it work. And so, I don't know, I hope that this kind of gives you all a little bit of a perspective of what you could do as a coach, and like the difference that you can make in people's lives. So really that's the end of everything I was hoping to say on this call. I know that nobody's on the call except for Chelsea, but hopefully this video will help whoever ends up watching it. I don't know if Chelsea, if you have anything you want to say before I end the call.
Nothing besides that you're amazing and a great leader. And you have a way with words to totally motivate me. So thank you for this call. And I think it'll help a ton of people. So I'm really excited.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on this call, and thanks for letting me just sit here and record myself what I had planned. So anyway, have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
We'll see ya.
Bye.